Hi, YouTube, brothers and sisters. Johnny Boombat here. What in the flip is going on? Oh man, what do you guys say? What do you guys say when the monotony is on a daily and you're on the grind, driving back and forth in traffic? Same thing every day, hey, with a couple of fucking little irritants in between that piss you off. And then you come home and you go to bed early because you just want to sleep your life away. So I'm in bed at 5 o'clock and I'm waking up at 10 p.m. And then I go to the fridge to get a little snacky do. And then I look at the clock and I say, you got 6 hours left to sleep. You know what I mean? When your life, you most look forward to sleeping, and not just 8 hours, but you're like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep for 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours. You know what I mean? When you've been training hard, working hard, little pisser offers of people being fucking assholes that you have to deal with. And then you prey on it because you don't want to walk around pissed off, and you want to figure out how to deal with them in a way that you're not going to get pissed off with them and get in trouble because they're retards. And then you come home, right? You come home, your bedroom's a mess, your house is a mess, your lower back hurts, your beard is too fucking big for your face, you're going fucking bald. You're sitting in your freaking incline bench press seat with an ice pack on your back, and you're looking at all the fucking shit that you gotta clean up, and you're trying to decide, should I train or not fucking train? You're looking over at your bed and it's covered with freaking underwear, and you got dishes on the floor and freaking crab apples next to your fucking chair, and you're munching on them, and you're like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Am I gonna clean my room? Am I gonna train? Well, let's put it this way. I can't train until I clean my room. I can't clean my room until I get this ice pack off my back and my back starts going back to room temperature. So ultimately, I'm trying to get the inflammation down and not make my back worse. And then I can clean my room. Thank God it's only my room I gotta clean. Can you imagine fucking coming home to a big ass pigsty of a freaking house? Nice thing about being in a small space, even though it's a mess, it doesn't really take long. But yeah, I was thinking all day today. Well, not all day, but I was like, what should I train? You know, because you remember the past week or so, and you think to yourself, well, it's been a long freaking time since I hit delts. But then you want to hit delts, but then you got a kink in your freaking upper middle back, and you're wondering if that's the best case scenario. And then I'm like, well, maybe I'll freaking hit bench press, hit some chest, so I'm freaking pushing up and my back's flat. Maybe I'll get a good freaking crack out of my back, eh? But it's like, do I have the energy to lift really freaking heavy on bench press? I mean, I used to be able to conjure up the energy no matter what. I had no fear. But I've had so many fucking setbacks with bullshit. I'm trying to be absolutely precise on all my freaking moves. Strategic planning. What I'm getting down to is the whole to train or not to train. Sometimes you've got aches and pains, like in your upper back, shoulder blades, your neck, from tension throughout the day, the pressure of the day, the pressure of life. It helps to get some good blood flow in your body. Get blood, just all those meals you had, get that all circulating through your body, get a good pump. Yeah. I thought, I think I trained pretty intensely for the most part, but, my days of sporadic training are over. The type of training to where you're actually using so much aggression to move the weight on a machine that the whole flipping machine is moving. Now, that kind of training, that sporadic, aggressive training, it's for the young. It's for the guys that don't have no injuries yet, not dealing with any aches and pains. Yeah, train like a crazy animal. But at the same time, is it really going to add more mass than training with strict form and control and focus and continuous tension and focusing on contraction nice and slow? Not necessarily. A lot of guys used to just call it ego training or, psychopath training, if you will. But I've seen one guy in particular, pretty big guy on Instagram, and he trains slower than I've ever seen anybody train. Like he'll extend fully, get a full stretch, come back slow, squeeze, hold it, and he executes every single rep like that on all his exercises. Every video I've seen him train, that's how he trains, and he's huge. Oh, I'm talking sporadic, aggressive training. I'm like, I guess I can refer to Branch Warren type training. I've seen all the Mr. Olympias of the 90s train like that, mostly. Kevin Leroney trained like that at times. Flex Wheeler trained like that at times. Ronnie Coleman trained like that, probably more than he should have. It's dangerous. And these guys are training like that because they're hungry to win the Mr. Olympia. They're hungry to win the trophy. They're hungry to win the money. And I've trained like that, but the only reason I trained like that was when I was in my 20s and 30s, to where I didn't have any injuries. Like, training intensity isn't always training sporadic and aggressive to where you're turning into a psychopath. Just watch a video of Tom Platz training legs, Branch Warren training anything, Ronnie Coleman, and the form isn't there. You're not really focusing on mind-muscle connection. You're probably using, and most likely when you see these guys train like this, you're utilizing a lot of different body parts to get that weight up. So I guess in a way it would be good, because it would pretty much turn every single freaking exercise into a compound movement because you're well. Look at the videos and you'll see what I mean. Look at Branch Warren train. Look at Tom Platt's train. So yeah, you'll know. And I don't know if too many guys bring this up, but then you had guys that trained really strict, like freaking oh god, what's his name? Robbie Robinson, Charles Glass, you know, and they had beautiful physiques, and they always just used good form. They weren't ego boating, and those guys seem to be the ones that still have really awesome builds at the age of 70, 80 years old. Frank Zane. So I mean, I guess you can say that those guys they're maybe training like that because they're ectomorphs. Where most of the time when I see guys training sporadic and crazy, they're usually endo, or they're endomorphs because their joints and their ligaments are big and bulky and they can really take a beating. But the conclusion I'm coming to here is that as an ectomorph, your joints are smaller, your ligaments are smaller, your tendons are smaller, and the good thing about being an ectomorph is that when you have 40 pounds of muscle on your ecto frame, and you're ripped and you're pumped at say 170, 180, 190, 210 pounds, that you're going to look 20 pounds bigger than what you are because you're holding 40 pounds of muscle on a small frame. Because I seen a guy recently and he looks like the same size as me, but he's 257 pounds. And I mentioned this in a video before, but 250 pounds and probably about 40 pounds of muscle, maybe 30, because he doesn't even look as big as me. But a big, massive skeletal structure, very big boned, a lot of bone mass. And I would say probably 210 pounds of bone mass. Where, if I stripped all my muscle off me and my fat, I'd probably be at like 130 pounds of bone mass. So if an endomorph like that, who's tall and lanky, really wants to look like a freakity freak, 257 pounds for some guys with this type of frame isn't even going to cut it, because this guy I'm talking about, his legs looked tiny. So you think to yourself, how can a guy who's like 6 feet tall, 257 pounds, and his legs look tiny? He looks small. And you look at him and he's all bone mass, bone. And it's, of course everybody gives them props. Oh, you look amazing, this and that. Well, yeah, he looks better than the average guy, but everybody has their fan club. But to me, I don't like that kind of build. That if you're an endo, if you're a meso endo and you're 250 pounds, 257 pounds, and you don't look big at 257 pounds, then chances are you got to get yourself up to like 285 pounds and get those legs up, because I don't know, it's just really strange how you can see guys that weigh so much but yet they don't look that big. But yet you see like a bodybuilder like Flex Wheeler, when he competed in the 90s, in his last years, weighing in at 237 pounds, with full muscle bellies, small joints just looking full blown everywhere. It's just something interesting to talk about because, like I said before, bodybuilders come in all shapes and sizes, and pick and choose what you like, what kind of build you like, whose build you like, whose build you don't like. Um, if you don't like some guy's build, then there's probably people that obviously do like his build. So that's in bodybuilding when you get your politics involved, right? Everybody has their favorites. Like I always liked in the '90s. I always liked Paul DeMeo, a big freaking huge black guy. Paul DeMeo? Yeah, no, freaking sorry. There was Paul DeMeo. He was cool, but they called him Quadzilla. He had huge quads. But I'm talking about Paul Dillette. Google Paul Dillette in the '90s. Mr. Olympia, Paul Dillette, and he looked like flipping Frankenstein. Now I'm talking about that's what a guy at 285 pounds should look like at 6 foot. I think he was 6'2". Paul Dillette, and you can look at all those pictures of the guys from the '90s, the Mr. Olympia contenders from the '90s, going all the way to 2000, and I got to tell you that the best year, not the best era, but I'd say the best year, the best years maybe would have been between 1992 and 1997 for that rank of bodybuilders. If you want to go back further, you have your '80s bodybuilders, which I really flippin' probably like the best. Then you got your '70s bodybuilders and your '60s bodybuilders. So it's just very, very extremely interesting. So yeah, that's about all I got to say for today. That's what's on my mind. That's the frickin' dirty, messy bedroom that I'm in this hot, frickin' humid climate in Edmonton, Alberta. We are surrounded by fires. I'm in Edmonton, and Alberta is surrounded by fires. Alberta this summer has gotten a shitload of rain, flooding and tornadoes, but all around Alberta, all fires. Interesting. You got to talk about things because it's kind of mind-boggling sometimes. And at the end of the day, I guess when your mind is too boggled and the pressure is too high, just fucking say fuck it and have a rockin' time. Just have a good laugh, have a good time, turn up your tunes, sleep lots, and enjoy your food. Peace.